What is up guys, my name is Chase. Welcome back to another video. So just recently Apple officially announced the iPhone XS, the iPhone XS Max, and the iPhone XR. And this video is specifically going to be all about the iPhone XR, because when Phil was talking about the iPhone XR, there was like one major sentence that just was glaring out to me, and it was the fact that 3D Touch isn't going to be in the iPhone XR. Insert the clip there.
It doesn't have 3D touch. It doesn't have 3D touch. It doesn't have 3D touch.
Wow, it doesn't have 3D touch. Whoa.
Haptic
Whoa,
touch.
whoa, whoa.
So to get to the...
And so basically this is going to be kind of like a rant, I guess. But this video is more or less going to be just my argument as to why I think 3D Touch is really useful. So 3D Touch was officially announced for the iPhone 6s. I believe that was sort of like the big new feature for the iPhone 6s. And ever since then, it's been implemented into all of the iPhones. So obviously, you know, there was a feature that was in all of the iPhones for the past, it must have been like 3 or 4 years, right? And then all of a sudden, they're taking it out of one of the iPhones. Granted, I can see the logic behind that. I imagine like they were trying to make an affordable iPhone with the XR, and you know, with having a larger screen and you know, overall being a larger sized phone, they had to cut some corners, and I imagine one of those corners that they had to cut was 3D Touch. But at the same time, it kind of makes me worried that going into the future, they might even start to take out 3D Touch from the mainline iPhones. Anyway, here's why I think 3D Touch is so useful. So I have my iPhone X here, and I guess sort of in its simplest form, I'll just show you how I use 3D Touch. I mean, to be honest, I don't really care too much about, you know, 3D touching into these little shortcuts. With the clock app, you know, you can make a new alarm and stuff. With Instagram, you know, you can make a new post or go straight to your camera or your activity feed and all that stuff. You know, I think it's nice, but I don't necessarily use 3D Touch for that. What I find 3D Touch really useful for is for like previews of the apps. If you 3D Touch calendars, you can see your next event in your calendar, which is really nice. And the same goes for like reminders. You can see if you have any upcoming reminders or anything. So I mean, that's why for me, I think 3D Touch is really useful on the home screen of the iPhone. However, you can actually dig deeper and see more 3D Touch features throughout some of the apps. For example, in the News app, you can 3D Touch on the news story and it'll give you this little preview. If you slide up, then you have all of these options, like you can love the story, dislike the story, or save it, and so on. Or if you actually press down harder on the story, it'll just open it up in the app. And then also if you head on into Safari, 3D Touch can, you know, be really useful for links and stuff. So if you 3D Touch on a link, it'll once again give you a preview. Swipe up, it'll give you more options. This is actually something I use a lot, you know, the open in a new tab option when you 3D Touch. And of course, you know, just like in news, if you 3D Touch harder, you can open up the actual page. And I know this might sound gimmicky and stuff. I know it might not sound useful, you know, if you're not using it in person. I mean, that's why for me, I think the 6S didn't really make sense, was that I didn't fully understand 3D Touch. But once you start messing around with it and like once you see how many different things you can do with 3D Touch, it becomes really, really useful. And at this point, I honestly can't see myself using an iPhone without 3D Touch. And that's why, you know, seeing that they took out 3D Touch from the iPhone XR, it was really surprising to me and just really kind of confusing. But anyway, you know, that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm very much pro 3D Touch. But let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching this video, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.